everybody, and welcome back to Family Meeting Podcast. Looking forward to another great episode on today's show. We have kind of come out of the holiday rush and everything back into the regular swing of things.
Yep.
And just kind of preparing ourselves for the year ahead. It's been a fun one already.
Yes.
We're already getting started. We have our daughter Abigail, who I call Sugar. She is graduating in May, and we're getting ready to take her senior trip. Let's see. We are recording today what's the date today? Today's the 14th.
Well, I was going to say 12th.
So
way off.
When do we leave on that trip?
Like 26th. Is that a Monday?
That's a Monday, yeah.
Yeah, 26th.
So 12 days, we take them away just by themselves, which is a big deal when you have 4 daughters. And then we do their senior pictures. We take their senior pictures.
And we also have some fun with them. Like sometimes we'll take them to a movie or just, enjoy the pool at the hotel or whatever. But it's like their senior trip. Yep. And we always have a really good time. It's a very special time with just us before they kind of fly off into adulthood.
Yeah. And so heading up to Savannah in a few days. Hopefully it's nice and warm. But we are kind of moving into that. And then we have Lysandra's birthday after that. We'll get back and have Lysandra's birthday, January 31st. She's going to be 41.
I am.
So we'll do a special 41st birthday celebration on the podcast.
Oh, what would that even be like?
Like just a bunch of sounds that go, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
Yep. But preparing for our marriage events we've got coming up. In just a minute, I'll talk about the one we've got coming up in February. But we have the one in February. March, we're going to be in Mississippi. And then we go from there across the state over in Florida to one over there. And this past week, set up 2 marriage events in Michigan for October. Another conversation about possibly doing an event in Iowa. So looking forward to that. Heading back to the homeland.
Yes.
Which will be fun. So we're excited about it. We'd love to see you at an event. We hope that your year is getting off to a great start, that your resolutions are staying strong, right? February 9th, I learned that this year is quit day.
February 9th?
January 9th.
Okay, I was going to say I would think it'd be way earlier than February 9th. Yeah, January 9th makes a lot more sense.
Is quit day. So if you're still going strong, then you're doing good.
You made it.
Yeah.
Keep going. So
Lysandra and I are committed right now to losing a little bit of weight, holiday weight.
Being healthy.
So far going well. We haven't given up hope yet.
Nope.
So
we're on the right track.
If you did already quit, listen, just start right now.
Yeah.
Get back going again. You can always get back going again.
That's a good thing.
Let's see. Today we're going to be talking about, we have such an exciting episode for parents, not so exciting for kids.
That is true.
We're going to be talking about chores. And specifically how chores help prepare and get your child ready to go out into the real world. So as a parent, I'm excited about it. All of our kids who listen, you're like, okay, can we just skip this episode? Make sure mom and dad don't see this one.
Just deleting it.
It'd be an interesting conversation, and we'd love to hear kind of what your experience has been as a child doing chores. And then how's it gone for you as a parent? Like, what are you expect your child to do? Would you like them to do more? And all of that. So we'd love to have that conversation with all of you. But for now, let's gather around, everybody. It's time for a family meeting. A family meeting is a show that's all about family relationships. We're the Osterkamps. I'm Thomas. This is my beautiful wife, Lysandra.
Hello and wow.
That was crazy. She was doing I Dream of Jeannie or something. No, it was not I Dream of Jeannie. It's
Samantha.
Bewitched.
Bewitched, yeah.
Bewitched, yes.
That's funny. Okay. Hello and welcome to our family. Welcome to episode 277 of the Family Meeting Podcast. On today's episode, we're going to discuss chores. Now, before you turn this off and say, I don't like chores, we're talking about why chores are good for your kids.
Yes.
So you want to listen.
Doesn't matter if you hate chores or not. I'm not a huge fan of chores. No. I never have been. Lysandra, kind of, there are chores that you really like.
Yeah. In a way, I love chores. Like, I love to make things organized and make things clean and all of that. But I start to hate chores when I feel like nobody else is doing them.
Totally.
I'm being taken advantage of. Then I really resent the chore and the people in my life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's understandable.
But
Maybe
I
that's
do.
exactly how you are feeling out there. It's like, I'm feeling taken advantage of.
Yep.
This episode is for you because we're going to encourage you to get your kids involved in the chores around the house.
Yeah, and we're going to look at how chores can actually equip your kids to do well professionally. So you have a whole nother reason and motivation to get your kids to do chores. And, there is a real entitlement thing happening, right? Like, I mean, that's real. I know that people, it's kind of cliche or whatever, but it's true. Like, our kids, a lot of times they just expect everything to be handed to them. And it's definitely shown on television and movies and things like that. But to expect your kids to do chores is completely reasonable.
Well, what's great is after listening to this episode, you can make your kids listen to it and say, listen, the reason you're doing all these chores now is not for my benefit.
Yeah.
It's for your benefit. I'm doing this for you.
And then all the kids are going to hate you and me.
I mean,
I'm okay with that, though.
Yeah, as long as the parents are on our side, that's fine.
Yes.
We're here for you. It's parents against the kids. We're with
Absolutely.
you. Like, we're with you. We gotta
Yes.
we gotta lock arms and just be the same team here against these little monsters. But before we jump into the episode for today, a couple exciting things happening.
Okay.
We have a marriage event getting ready to come up, Couples Getaway in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, February 19th through 21st with Mark Harvey and our friends at Barnhart. Looking forward to being back again with them. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be talking about marriage under pressure. All of our relationships feel pressure from a lot of different ways, outside, inside, and all of that. But here's the thing. Those pressures don't have to ruin your marriage. They can refine it. And that's what we're going to focus in on in our time together up there. And so if you're not with Barnhart, you say, I'd love to be able to go to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee in February and work on my marriage relationship. We would love to see you there. Reach out to us through social media or the information that's given in this episode. You can text us or send us an email, info@familymeeting.org, and we'll make sure that you have all the information that you need to make sure that your marriage thrives under pressure.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, you said we have a couple of exciting
things. So,
okay, what else?
All right, Lysandra, something fantastic happened literally last night.
Yes, and it's all I can think about.
I will not spoil it. I will pass the baton to you and let you make this amazing announcement of what happened last night and what that means for the future.
Okay, so let's see, we started this project in early summer. We started this project. We have been working on writing a book on discipline. At these marriage events we have, people in our lives, over the past 20 years, the thing that parents ask most about and seem to be struggling the most with is discipline. How do I discipline?
And this is a project that's been actually years in the making.
Yeah, for sure.
Laying the foundation for years with some study and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so true, so true.
This project itself started
Yeah, the
early
book
summer.
itself is last night, I emailed the book to editing. So our editor has the book now. So this is like a big step in the right direction. Now we're looking at the light at the end of the tunnel with this project. So I'm really excited about it. And my hope, my goal, my dream is that it will truly help parents to feel more confident in the way they discipline and to discipline appropriately, and therefore have awesome relationships with their older children.
Yeah.
Because we enjoy that. Like we have 4 kids. For those of you who don't know, maybe you're new to the podcast. We have 4 daughters. We have a 20-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 17-year-old, a 15-year-old. And so we put in a lot of work in those early years with disciplining and the way we disciplined and all of the conversations and the gentleness and the talking and all of the work that went into it. And let me tell you, now we are reaping the benefits. We are living in that beauty of a great relationship because, I mean, for a lot of reasons, and of course, the Lord is the main reason. But because of all that work in those early years with discipline, we just have such a beautiful relationship with our girls.
Yeah.
We're just enjoying it. Like now we just get to sit and enjoy it. And we want that for other parents too. We want them to experience that. So my hope is that it will really help families, help parents.
Yeah, it'll be a great resource for you and your family. Now we move on to finalizing the title of the book, and then I've got to do the cover and all the graphics that go along with that. So
we have like 4 titles that we're like kind of tossing around.
So
hard to choose what.
Keep your eyes and ears open for more information.
Yes.
But sometime in the first half of this year, we'll have that resource available.
And I will say this too. One thing I think that's really cool about the book, actually it's probably my favorite thing about the book by far, is all the stories we tell of the girls when they were little.
Yeah.
Because we share all these different moments of discipline throughout our
good things we
parenting.
did, some failures we made,
Absolutely.
lessons we learned.
Yep. And what's so fun is like it's just so fun reading those stories, and you'll find that the things happening in your house are happening in everybody else's house too.
Well, and some of the stories, you know, I go back over and I'm like, yeesh, that was a learning lesson for me.
Yeah.
And thankful that, you know, we can learn and grow in the parenting process along the way. But hopefully this will help you to avoid some of the problems that we had. Or more specifically, I had a lot more problems than you did, but that's true in life. That's true in most of life, like marriage, parenting, all of that. I've had a lot more issues to correct. I had more room to grow.
I don't know.
So,
all right, are we ready to talk about chores now?
Let's do it.
All right. Cool. Let's talk about why chores help your children succeed in the future. What if the path to your child's future success starts with taking out the trash?
I love that one because if you've listened to the podcast at all, you know one of the biggest issues we've had in our entire marriage is taking out the trash.
Yes.
So if the kids' success is on taking out the trash, then great. That means less marital stress for me and you.
Exactly.
That's part of the motivation too, to get your kids doing chores. Less stress in your own marriage.
Yes. Yeah.
Your marriage will be stronger if you have your kids do all the chores.
That's right. Because if you don't have to do chores, you have more time to invest in your marriage. I love this.
Well, you're not fighting over it, right? I know
that.
Towards
but I'm
each
saying
other.
Also, it frees up time.
Yeah.
Like it really, truly does.
But we're not fighting about chores.
Who's going to do it?
We're spending time together.
Yeah. Now, what happens when all these kids leave the house and somebody's got to take out the trash again?
Yeah. Well, keep you updated on how that works out in the next few years.
We may get a whole nother book of fights out of what happens when the kids leave the house and all the chores are put back on you and me alone.
Yeah. Yeah. We can call it like empty nest war or...
Ooh, I like it.
Something like that.
2 old crows fighting in the empty nest.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So what we want to explore really is how chores play a critical role in helping children succeed professionally later in life. And I know sometimes it feels like, okay, I'm just being mean to my kids, or they're tired too from school or whatever. But what you got to realize is age-appropriate responsibilities build character traits that employers value most, like initiative, resilience, teamwork, accountability, and self-discipline. All these things are so important. And if you think about it, like if any of you are in any kind of leadership role, you know how valuable these traits are in people who are under you. And the employers are looking for these things. And when they start off doing chores at home, they're going to have these things naturally built from within, from the ground up. And when they go out to get a job, man, like they are going to be a valuable employee. One thing I told our girls when they first started entering the job force, which was like in the last 5 years, was If you are an excellent employee who's dependable, on time, works with a good attitude, and works hard, there is nothing your employer won't do for you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. Now, there are exceptions.
Because
like you can have just a bad culture in the workplace.
It's just so rare, and you make yourself so valuable to the company or the organization that you're working for, or the client that you're working for, that you know they'll do it. It earns you a lot of favor.
Absolutely. Like they'll give you the days off you want. They will bend over backwards to try to like help you be happy at your job. And so, and they are already seeing that. Like that is what is happening in their work.
Well, and we see that in the scripture too, in the life of Joseph, that, you know, he was put into a situation. Those of you that aren't familiar with the story of Joseph, his brothers hated him, sold him into slavery, and he could have been like, well, I shouldn't even be here. Like, but no, he worked hard. He was diligent. He did everything to the best of his ability. It earned him a lot of favor. Falsely accused of rape, gets thrown in prison. Another situation where it's like, I shouldn't be here, but what does he do? He works hard, he's diligent, it earns him a lot of favor, and that just continues on into the point where he's like second in command over all of Egypt and taking care of making sure that whole entire nations and regions of the world don't starve to death. But that's because he was very diligent and faithful in what he was giving to do, no matter the circumstance.
That's right. And so he had favor with his employers. And that's what we want for our kids, right? I mean, we want them to be able to succeed.
Well, and you made such an important statement just a second ago when you talked about age-appropriate responsibilities. So we're not talking about giving your kids something to do that they shouldn't be doing. Like your 3-year-old, your 5-year-old is not going to be responsible for washing and drying the entire family's dishes, right? But can your 16 and 17-year-old, 14-year-old do that? Yeah, they can, and they should learn how to do those sort of things. So that age-appropriate responsibilities is such a key phrase that you mentioned just a second ago.
Right.
So a long-term Harvard study spanning over 85 years has uncovered a compelling link between childhood chores and future professional success. And what I love about studies like this is it's done over a long period of time.
Yeah.
A lot of the studies we see today, especially when it comes to products or drugs or whatever, like they do it, it's a very short study and it's very limited in its scope to give the best view of whatever it is they're trying to accomplish. So this is over 85 years. And the researchers found that children who participate in household tasks develop a stronger sense of self-worth and empathy, which are crucial traits for career achievement. These chores also instill a robust work ethic and enhance the ability to work well in team settings. So you've taught them when they were children what it means to work hard, get the job done, be part of a team, and it's something that they can take then into the workforce with them.
And a study published in the Journal of Development and Behavioral Pediatrics found that children who start chores early exhibit higher levels of self-confidence and life satisfaction too, which is so interesting because in a child's mind, and sometimes even in us as adults, is like, I'd be so much happier if I didn't have to work. I'd be so much happier if I didn't have to do this, that, the other. But the truth is, we are built and created by God to be workers. And we're going to see that in a minute. But the point of that is like, when we fulfill our God-given design, we are happiest. And that's something to think about, a principle to apply to every aspect of our lives. When you operate in the God-designed roles that you have been given, you really will have more satisfaction, more happiness, more joy, more peace in your life. Why fight against it? Why not lean into it?
Well, and there's a sense of accomplishment, you know, that, and that's really what lies behind this self-confidence is like you have learned how to do something hard, once again, age appropriate, but it's still, you know, it's still work. It's still something that can be difficult that you don't want to do. And so when you accomplish something, you know, there's that good feeling that comes out of that about yourself, that look what I did. Look at the chaos that was in this kitchen before I got here. And now everything's clean, everything's wiped down, everything's put away. I turn around and I just see the organization and the cleanliness that has come out of this. Or, even looking at our lives now and what like yesterday, finishing up the first, go around and edits for the new book coming out and hitting send on that to the editor. Like there's a sense of accomplishment about that.
Yeah. You hear the hallelujah chorus.
I finished up and finalized the graphic for the marriage event we're doing in Tennessee, Marriage Under Pressure. And it is, the lettering is all diamonds. And then behind it is a backdrop of coal. And so when I spend some time working on that, thinking about that, creating that, and then it's pretty much done. I've got a few tweaks I want to make just to finalize it. I mean, if you do creative things, there's always tweaks you can make. You finally just have to decide it's good enough. But there's that sense of accomplishment. Like, okay, I know what I want this to be, and I have, for the most part, created it. And the same is true for our kids. We're teaching them how to accomplish something, and that will, in turn, as this study talks about, raise their self-confidence that, hey, I can do hard things. I can accomplish things. I can do this.
Yep.
Which raises the life satisfaction there. And one of the things that we know is work is part of God's good design.
Yes.
And this is something that some people have a misunderstanding about. Work is not a result of the fall.
Right.
It's part of God's original intention for humanity. And when we get to the other side, we get to heaven, we're into eternity. We will still be working and accomplishing things. So
I love that.
So work is not a result of the fall. It's not part of sin or evil. In Genesis 2:15.
It can feel that way, though.
It can. Now, there are certain aspects of work.
Yeah.
That like work is difficult because of the fall, but
right.
Work itself is not a result of the fall. It's part of God's plan for us to be productive, for us to create. All those things are good things. But Genesis 2:15, the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and keep it. And he was also given the responsibility to go and name all the animals. Like he had a responsibility that I've given you this garden here, work it, take care of it is the idea.
And Genesis 2 happens before the fall.
Fall takes place in Genesis chapter number 3, where Eve is deceived. Adam was right there with her. He chooses to disobey God and eat the fruit. But this is before that.
Yeah.
But it shows that meaningful labor is woven into creation itself. Like God worked in whatever aspect that means for an all-powerful God to work, right? But God worked as he created everything, and then he rested the seventh day from his work and kind of gave us that pattern of making sure that we take time to rest and rely upon him and all that. But as his creation and created in his image, work is a part of what we're created to do also.
And we see work in all creation. Like you see, the squirrels gathering their nuts for winter and like all of the things like the ants building and the beavers building their dams and all of the things, like even creation, nature itself is working often. But scripture consistently praises hard work, diligence, and it warns against slothfulness. And that word sloth is not a word that we use very often anymore unless we're talking about a slow animal. Yeah. But in scripture, when it talks about sloth, it's talking about laziness or, not working, basically. So let's look at Proverbs 12:11. It says, whoever works his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows worthless pursuits lacks sense. So basically work hard. And we see other studies that support this link because research has shown that children who regularly perform age-appropriate chores are more likely to be self-sufficient as adults. And I know that I've seen that in my own kids. Like, because they have learned how to cook or learned how to do dishes, now when we're gone, they're totally fine. Like, they don't need us. They can also maintain employment and exhibit leadership behaviors. They experience greater career satisfaction. So it's really important, and it really does make a difference.
Well, and You're talking about diligence. One of the verses that I was looking at this week as I'm getting ready for Sunday's message is, hey, if you don't work, you shouldn't eat. And also the fact that if you don't provide for your own, right, you have denied the faith and you're worse than an infidel. Because I was looking up that word faith. We're getting ready to start a verse-by-verse study through the book of Jude, and where it tells us, earnestly contend for the faith. And so what does that word faith actually mean? And so that verse came across my study, and just a reminder, like, hey, we are supposed to work hard, provide, and take care of our family, make sure that they have their needs met. And giving your kids responsibilities and teaching them how to household chores is setting up a pattern for them to work hard and make sure that they take care of their families.
That's right. Proverbs 10:4 says, a slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. So in other words, if you're not willing to work, you're going to suffer. Like, it's going to be a hard life. And we have seen that in so many people. People who tend towards laziness or just don't have a lot of ambition to work and work hard. They just struggle all along the way, and life is so much harder for them, and they're not as happy. They're not as happy as those who are, working hard and achieving.
Yeah, and this is one of those verses that, our children memorized as soon as they were able to memorize, maybe 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah, I think around 3 they were able to memorize this verse.
And it's the verse I mentioned just a second ago in 2 Thessalonians 3:10. If anyone is not willing to work, let him not eat. And so this was part of the memorization process as soon as our kids started walking and stumbling around, we were giving them, responsibilities that were age appropriate for them. So, picking up their toys.
Yep, that was about the first one.
Yep, playtime's over. Let's pick up our toys. And we talked about the fact that, hey, if you're not willing to work, you shouldn't eat. Like, we all chip in, we all are a team here, and so this is your responsibility, and your part of being in our family is picking up after yourself. And from the earliest age, they can learn that.
And one way to help you understand age appropriate chores, because you're thinking, okay, how do I know if my child is old enough to handle this particular chore? If the child can take a toy out of a toy bin, they are old enough to put a toy in the toy bin, right? So think of that and apply that to everything. If they're old enough to go to the drawer, get out a spoon and eat their little pudding snack pack, then they're old enough to put the spoon in the drawer. So that means they can unload the dishwasher,
Well, and when they were very small and toddling around, one of the things that Lysandra and I would do is we would kind of show them, and we'd do it with them.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and we'd pick up a toy, we'd put it back in the toy
now
box.
You pick up a toy.
Yeah, so we kind of led them through the process. It wasn't just, hey, pick up your toys, right? We taught them and mentored and along the way that this is how you do this, and this is why you do this, and so there's plenty of good reasons why chores are good for your kids. Lysandra, do you want to jump us into some of the good things here?
I will in 1 second, because I just want to share a story that just popped into my mind.
Okay.
I've heard several young moms, like right now, who are raising their kids, say that they do this, and I'm not putting shame on anybody or throwing shade.
Shame them.
No shade given.
I'll throw the shade.
But I want to say that I don't know that this is the best for the kids. What they say that they do is they put their kids to bed for a nap, and that's their opportunity to run around the house and pick up all the toys and clean up. And the suggestion that I want to make to those who have children at that age is have the kids pick up their toys before you put them to bed, even if you and they are picking them up together. And then put them to bed, and then rather than you scrambling around trying to get everything done, you can invest in your own rest or refreshment or whatever you need to do. Or maybe you need to do chores that they can't do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But help them to put away their toys before you put them down for their nap.
Well, and it's such a great opportunity to teach them that, hey, before we rest, we do our work.
Yes.
And we pick it up and we organize it so that when we get up from rest time, things are where we want them to be, and then we have freedom to play and do and whatever. So
Right, exactly. But yeah, let's talk about some specific things, okay? How responsibility builds ownership and initiative, okay? We want to talk about specific reasons that chores are good for your kids. When children are entrusted with real tasks, like, picking up the toys and specific real things that are helping keep things clean, keep things orderly.
Not just like busy work.
Yeah, not just whatever. Yeah. They're going to learn that their actions really matter, that they have an impact, okay? And then what this is going to do, it's going to help them in the future with their leadership because it develops initiative rather than dependence. It encourages proactive problem solving. It reinforces accountability for outcomes. So children who grow up taking responsibility are much more likely to step forward in professional settings rather than wait to be told what to do.
Yeah.
And that is a really a really good thing that employers are looking for in their employees, like a self-starter, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's like, oh, you already did that? I was going to ask you to do that. Thanks. Amazing. Like you're going to turn heads there in the workforce.
Well, and because it makes you so much more valuable. Now, as a lead pastor, obviously it's an executive level position. And one of the things that is the most helpful is when I can put people in charge and make them responsible for a certain area, ministry, task, or whatever, and they can, on their own, take the initiative to make sure that the thing is done, that it's scheduled, that it goes off without a hitch. And I don't have to sit there and micromanage every little thing and tell them, hey, this is step 1, do this. This is step 2, now you got to do this. Now you got, there may be some training that's involved depending upon the specific thing, but they take the initiative to actually follow through and get it done.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, that has been rare to find.
It is very rare.
It's been so rare to find.
And frustrating.
And it's been hard. And so if you can teach your kids how to do that through the responsibilities around the house, you are setting them up for such an amazing future. Mm-hmm. And one of the things about household contribution as well is that it develops executive function.
Yeah.
And because chores and responsibilities strengthen core executive skills. You're talking about planning, time management, prioritization, follow through. And we know these skills are all foundational for leadership roles.
Well, and when you tell your kids to pick up their toys, you're not even thinking about planning, time management, prioritization. Like all of the things that you're teaching them, you don't even realize that you are.
Yeah.
But that's what you're imparting to them.
And one of the things that we do, we have so many different things going on. One of the things we have going on in our lives is the paint business. Lysandra, for those of you who are new to the podcast, Lysandra started a paint company.
Painting houses.
To pay the bills here, where we paint interior, exterior houses and all that. And so we will often, I work for my wife.
Yes,
and,
you do.
She's
Finish that sentence, please.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out the right way to say this.
I think the word you're looking for is tyrant.
That's pretty close to what I want to say. So we often work long hours, late in the night. It's like we're going to work and we're going to get the job done. Mm-hmm. But then when we come home, there's still things to do. You still got to clean out and empty out the van and put things away.
Wash
brushes and stuff, right? And so our kids have the responsibility of dishes. And if you remember listening to the episode where the girls took over last at 275, they all hate doing the dishes.
Yes, they do.
But one of the things that we have taught them, and you're talking about teaching them these kind of executive skills here, is, okay, mom is coming home after her paint job to wash out the brushes. Mom can't wash out the brushes if the sink is full of dishes. So you have to, think about the time management. You've got to think about the planning, the prioritization of your schoolwork, of your time with friends, watching TV, whatever it is, volleyball, whatever you're doing, to make sure that your responsibilities are done before mom gets home so she can take care of her responsibilities.
Yeah, right.
And sometimes they are absolutely great with that.
Yeah,
And
there are
and
times when
then
they're amazing.
Other times it's like, okay, you dropped the ball here. Let's talk about what happened, what was the breakdown, what was going on, how can we better prioritize,
Yeah.
follow through, have better time management. So it's all learning process. And when they
Mm-hmm.
get it right, you take time to praise them
Yes.
and then talk about how did you get it right. And the times where they come up a little bit short, okay, what happened? What was the breakdown? And even in all of that, right, we're teaching them these crucial skills that they need to carry into the workforce. Where, the person that they're working for, the organization, company, or if they run their own business, as our oldest daughter's doing, your clients and those people may not be as patient or as gracious as mom and dad. So we're giving them an opportunity to learn lessons in a safe place.
That's right. All right. And then service at home also teaches relational leadership. Okay. Relational leadership. What happens is when they contribute at home, it teaches children to consider other people's needs, working within a team. Just like Thomas talked about, like they have to think about where mom and dad are, the work that we've been doing. And okay, I've been sitting at home for 2 hours. I need to hurry up and get the dishes done so that I'm not holding them up from being able to get their shower and feel like human again. So they're thinking about others. They understand now how to adjust behavior for collective success. We're working together. And that mirrors effective workplace leadership, which is increasingly collaborative rather than authoritarian. So children learn early that leadership is about serving the group, not controlling it. And we model that as parents too. There are times when there's a lot of dishes, and dishes are a great example for us just because that's the one thing that our kids all really hate.
Yeah.
But like dishes are a good example because there are times when there are a lot of dishes and I'll step in and just wash their dishes, even though it's not my day, it's their day. And I'll just wash them all just to help them because I know that like that's hard or they don't want to do that. Or if our oldest daughter has been working all day long, either we will wash her dishes for her or we will assign another sister to do it to make it easier on her. So working collaboratively, seeing the whole thing as a group, not just selfish and thinking about only ourselves. And early responsibility builds confidence through competence. Confidence is rooted in competence. So once they succeed at something, now they have some success and they feel confident.
Well, and competence there is one of the strongest predictors of long-term success. When you can build up that confidence because of the competence that you have achieved, that goes such a long way.
Yeah.
And it helps you in a lot of different ways. One of the things that it helps you do is like, okay, I've learned this task. I've learned how to do this responsibility. When I first started, I didn't know what it took to do all this.
And I was scared of it.
And so when I'm moving into this new job or this new role, then I have some confidence that, hey, I can do this. I can learn this. I can become competent in this situation. So, when children complete tasks, solve problems, see tangible results, they internalize the belief that I can handle responsibility. And this is such an important thing that is missing in a lot of lives today. That they're so frail that they can't handle pressure. They can't handle responsibility. It's just so overwhelming to them. And so one of the things we want to teach our children starting when they're very young is that you can handle responsibility. You can handle work. You can handle pressure. That yes, it's hard, it's difficult, but you can handle hard things.
Yeah.
You can do it. And so this belief translates into a willingness to take on leadership roles. They become comfortable with challenge and uncertainty. And so it also involves resilience after failure. And one of the things that we try to instill in our kids is that failure is not the worst thing in the world.
That's right.
Right? Failure is a part of learning and growth. We all fail.
Yep.
No one ever just jumps into something and is amazing at it. I don't care who you are. The best in the world at what they do have failed time and time and time and time again. And of course, I love basketball. I grew up in the 90s, and I don't. My favorite example is Michael Jordan being cut from his basketball team. I mean, could you imagine being that coach?
Oh man,
You're the
like,
coach who
idiot.
cut Michael Jordan. But that was the best thing that happened to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, that is the coach that made Michael Jordan, because
Yeah.
Michael Jordan saw the failure and said, I'll show you. I can do this. I'll work through it. He learned the lesson from it, that resilience after failure. And that's what we want to give our kids. And we're giving them a safe space where they can fail, where they can learn, where they can grow. And so perfectionism, if you're driving and teaching and pressing your kids for perfection, you're doing the exact opposite of what you're hoping to do.
Yeah.
You're teaching them failure is the worst thing that could possibly happen. And failure is not the worst thing that could happen. Giving up is the worst thing that could happen. That's the worst thing. Failing is okay. Failure is an amazing thing. It means you were bold. It means you tried. It means you put yourself out there. And it means you have an opportunity now to learn and to grow. And so we're teaching them that resilience, because your kids are going to fail.
Yeah.
When it comes to
Right.
chores and responsibilities and all that at home, they're going to fail. Why? Because they're learning, they're growing. I, as a grown man, sometimes fail. There's times where all of a sudden I hear the garbage truck, and I'm like, oh no. Because all the kids take the trash out from the house, my job is to make sure that trash gets from the trash can outside to the road so they can take it. And there's times, and it's few and far between, but it feels like, as an adult, one of the biggest losses in life is like missing trash can.
Yeah, for real. It's so
And
funny.
now what are we going to do with all this garbage
Yep.
for the next few days? At least our trash here comes twice a week.
I
Some of you,
love
your
it.
trash only comes once a week, and so it is a really big deal.
I don't
For
think
us,
I could ever go back to that now.
Yeah. For us, it's not that big a deal. Like, it's still a loss in life. Like, you still lost.
Yeah.
You have failed, right?
But you do learn from it, because, man, that next week you're like, what day is it? What day is it? What day?
Yep. So last night, after I made sure, not last night because that was Tuesday, Monday night, after all was said and done, made sure, went out, took the garbage out to the road because they pick up on Tuesday. And so.
You did it. Okay. So it also, one thing that you got to understand is work ethic starts way before the workplace. So when our kids entered the workforce, like maybe your kids are going to enter at 16, maybe 17, maybe 18, somewhere around there. When they enter the workplace, they are entering with the work ethic that they already have.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's already there. Now, can it grow? Can it change? Yes, hopefully it will grow no matter where they start at.
Yeah, and it's one of the things I found interesting, and we have 4 daughters. They're all kind of different. But it's been interesting to see certain daughters really thrive and work hard out in the workplace.
Yes.
And in different areas where we kind of had a harder time at home
Right.
getting them to do their stuff. Now, the work ethic was instilled in them, and when it has come to their job and their schooling and their responsibilities outside the home, they have been amazing. But you're right, it's been instilled here.
Yeah.
But they take what we've given to them often, and they will run with it, and you're like, wow, you're doing amazing. Like, I'm so proud of you.
Right. It is awesome. But professional habits rarely appear suddenly in adulthood. Like, it doesn't just happen, right?
Oh, yeah.
But children who contribute at home, they learn that work precedes reward. And that was always what we said. Like, one of the little mottos that we had with our kids was work first, play second. And we would always say that. So we'd be like, okay, if you want to watch this movie, first you have to do this. And to this day, my kids will text me and say, can I be on my phone, or can I play on the Switch, or whatever? And I'll say, did you get this done, this done, this done? Or the text will say, I read my Bible, I did my schoolwork, I did my chore, the dishes are done, can I play on the Switch?
Yes.
And
Yep.
then I'm like, yes. But they already understand still to this day, work first, play second.
Yeah. Well, and you're talking about the work ethic not just popping up out of nowhere when they get into the workforce. We're just a couple of weeks away from the Winter Olympics. And it's like you see all these amazing athletes, and it's not like they just developed the skill that they needed when it was time for the Olympics, right? They have been putting a lot of work and a lot of effort and preparation, most of them from the time that they were very small kids. And they put in hours every single day to do that thing, to get them ready for that spot. And the same is true when it comes to our kids when they get out into the world. Like, it's not just going to turn on out of nowhere. It's what's going to happen is, what have we instilled in them? What foundation, what tools have we given them to then step up? And now often when they get out there, they'll take it to the next level.
Yes.
Right? Because we've given them that foundation of knowledge, of self-worth, of competence, and all that. We've instilled them, the values of hard work and getting it done.
That's right.
But it does. You're right. It's a great point that you made. It doesn't just happen overnight when they get there.
That's right. And another thing that we did with our kids, and we still do to this day, is we thank them when they do the work that they're expected to do.
Yeah.
So I expect my kids to do what I have asked them to do. They live in this house for free. They eat for free. They get all kinds of nice, wonderful things from us. We take them on vacations. We do good things for them a lot.
Well, and we help out as much as possible. Even our adult kids, it's like we pay their phone bill right now.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
Yeah,
Not forever.
They pay their car insurance, and we have these things worked out. But anyway, all that to say, they have a lot of benefits, right? So we expect them to work. That is an expectation. It should just happen. But even with that, when they do their chore, we say thank you. Yeah. So like when I come home and I see them doing the dishes, I always say, "Oh, thanks for doing the dishes." Like this morning, I said to our 20-year-old, her job is to walk Coconut every single night. Every night of the week. We're all tired and in bed, and she's walking the dog.
Yep.
And I just told her, I said, "Thank you so much for walking Coconut every night. It's really nice that he gets that walk every night, and I really appreciate it. And I don't want to do it because I want to be in bed by that time." And she's like, "Yeah, no problem." But yet I expect her to do it.
Yeah.
But why can't we be thankful? Why can't we encourage them with praise, say, "Great job"? This also is going to instill work ethic.
Well, and one of the cool things about, you bring up the story about her walking the dog every night. Even in that, like, she negotiated for that role.
Yeah.
Because she did not want to have to get up in the morning and take him for his morning walk. And so she negotiated with her sisters and said, "I'll walk him every night if I don't have to walk him in the morning." And so the other sisters are like, "Okay, yeah, because that's less times we have to walk him. They just rotate in the morning time."
3 sisters rotate mornings, and Catherine walks him every night.
Yeah, but that's part of the responsibility and the negotiation. She realized what was valuable to her, and hey, this is what I'm willing to do this thing. And so even in stuff like that, like we're teaching them, it's one of the things about chores that I've really not thought about until this moment, but her willingness to negotiate for what she wanted or what she didn't want.
Right. But they'll do that too with other chores that they have to do, or even their dishes. Like, if you do my dishes now, I'll do them twice for you tomorrow, or whatever, and it is interesting to see that kind of develop.
So let's talk about 4 practical ways to assign chores by age without constant conflict.
This sounds nice.
So the word there is without constant.
There will be conflict, parents. There will be.
Because your kids don't like to do chores for the most part.
Yeah.
There are certain tasks that some of our kids enjoy doing. We have some, Abigail is one that she loves things organized and in the right place. And she's the one that I'll find randomly, like, sweeping out the van or sweeping or organizing or cleaning up.
And Catherine likes folding laundry. So she will sometimes fold other people's laundry, or she'll grab the random sock basket that everybody has, and she'll match all the socks periodically every so often.
Yeah. So sometimes they'll have some things that they really enjoy, but we all have things that we just don't like to do that we have to do, right? And part of parenting is teaching your kids to do things they don't want to do.
Yeah. With a good attitude.
That they need to do. Yeah. So not without constant conflict, because you're going to have some discipline and all that goes along with it.
Oh, yeah.
You can read our new book when it comes out.
Discipline and chores really go hand in hand, don't they?
They do. So one of the things that we talked about already, but we'll just kind of emphasize it here, you want to match chores to developmental ability. So we're not talking about just age.
Right.
So there's not all 5-year-olds should be doing this, right. All 10-year-olds should be doing this. Because every child is different. They develop differently with the skills and the abilities that they have at their age. And that's fine. It's you know your kids. You should know your kids. So you should know developmentally what they're able to handle. Or what's just a little bit of a stretch for them. What's going to stretch them just a little bit. Not just that it's easy for them or it's comfortable for them. Right? We want to stretch them. That's part of teaching them how to do hard things and gaining that confidence that they can handle it and all that. But conflict often happens when expectations don't match capability. Mm-hmm. And we've spent time talking about that before on the podcast. You and I all have been in situations where the expectations don't match the capability that we have, the experience, the knowledge, or the tools haven't been given to us to do it, right? And just how frustrating that is.
Yes.
And so we don't want to be the source of our kids' anger or frustration because we're giving them something that they can't accomplish, or we haven't given them the tools or the ability, the expectations, the direction to accomplish. So those are things to think about as well. If you're assigning your child something, make sure that they know fully what to expect. They know how you want it done. You've given them all the tools you want it done, right? Don't tell your kid to do the dishes if there's no dish soap.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
It's like, why aren't the dishes done? Yeah, there's no soap. But here's how to do it. Assign tasks your child can complete successfully with minimal help, right? And so we're beginning, just as we talked about with the little toddlers picking up their toys. We didn't just say pick up your toys. Like, we picked up a toy and put it in the box, or we may have at times picked up a toy, put it in their hand, and guided their hand to the box. Mm-hmm. And this is where the toys go, and this is how we pick up. So, but we're talking about minimal help, and then increase complexity gradually, not suddenly. So over time, they're going to learn how to master how you want the dishwasher loaded. They're going to learn how to master how to sweep up a room, how to vacuum a rug.
How to wash a window without leaving smears.
If you take time to wash your windows, good on you, or how to make I wouldn't teach our kids how to make their bed because nobody needs to know how to make a bed.
You don't believe in making bed. I do. Anyway, okay, so here's some examples of age-appropriate chores. These are examples. Remember, as Thomas said, not every 5-year-old can do the same things at the same time, okay? And you may have one child when they were 5, they could do this, and your next child when they were 5, they couldn't, right? So keep that in mind.
And that's the hardest thing to keep in mind.
It is.
Because we expect, hey, your sister was doing this at 5-year-old, why can't you? Mm-hmm. And so that'll cause a whole lot of problems and frustration, not comparing kids and all that. But
right.
And also, if they're taller than kids their age.
Oh, that's so hard on kids.
Remembering my nephew, Lysandra's brother's son, was and is so tall. And he was 5 years old, but he's tall as 10 and 11, 12-year-olds.
Right. So you want him to act like 10 and 11-year-olds.
I'm expecting him to act like a 10-year-old and being frustrated and having to remind myself, this kid, he's 5 years old.
Yeah. I know.
So keep in mind where your kids are at.
Yep, for sure. Okay, so ages 3 to 5. Here's some ideas of what they can do to help. We're talking about a 3-year-old, okay? So don't look at your little baby who's so cute and think they can't do anything. They can. They can put toys away. We've talked about that a lot. What about wiping up spills? Mm-hmm. They can do this. Now, here's another thing to understand. This was hard for me. This was really hard for me because I like things done properly. I had to let my kids wipe up spills poorly.
Yeah.
Okay, so they did it poorly and it wasn't done right. And then I'd say, good job. Now put the paper towel in the trash or whatever it is. And then I would go back and disinfect and wipe it up properly, right? But even having them do that little part is a big deal. How about feed the pets? Can your little 3-year-old get a scoop of dog food and put it in the bowl? Probably.
Oh, and they love to.
Oh, yeah, that one they probably wouldn't even feel like is a chore. Okay, 6 to 8-year-olds, they can certainly set the table. They can sort laundry. They can water plants. At this point, our kids were Clearing the dinner table, putting food away, not only putting dishes in the sink, but they were rinsing and loading the dishwasher, unloading the dishwasher.
Yeah. Well, and here's what I love, and this just happened the other day. We will often have people into our home for meals. And just the other day, we had some people over, and we do this so often, our girls are just kind of used to it. I will, when our guests are done, often go around, collect plates, take them out. But a lot of times our kids, without us even asking, will get up and they'll start collecting people's dirty dishes if they're done and all that. And
take them out to the sink.
One of our guests was just like commenting like how amazing it was. Like, how are your teen girls like just doing this on their own? Not even asked. Like nobody prompted them. They just got up and did it. But it's because we have laid this foundation of, hey, we're all chipping in here. Your mom worked really hard to cook this meal and do all this stuff for us. Like we all kind of chip in. But I just love that. And it was one of those things as a parent where you feel good. Like a lot of times as a parent, you feel nothing but embarrassment and sometimes failure. So that was one of those times where I was like, oh, Lysander, you did a good job with these girls.
We did a good job.
Yeah, but
yes. Yeah. Well, and also, I just want to throw this out there. Clearing the table is not a girl's job. Like, if you have sons, they should be doing the same thing. Right. Yeah. Just happens to be that we only have girls, but your sons should absolutely be helping with kitchen stuff, too. I think maybe some of that's, like, gone, that, like, gender-specific roles. I think everybody can help with anything.
Situation. Yeah, but yeah, I try to set the example for them. It's like I don't expect them to do it. I'll get up and clear the plates and stuff for our guests so they can sit and keep on conversating. And a little bit of that is like kind of
getting out of
because then I get a few moments like to step into the kitchen and like be by myself. And not have to carry a conversation.
And
so some of it's selfish, but it's also like setting an example for our kids.
I almost never ever clear dishes. And there's a couple of reasons. I'm usually the last one to sit down.
Yep.
And then also,
you're usually still eating.
I eat slower because I'm talking.
You're talking to everybody.
I'm a lot of times holding the conversation because Thomas is more of an introvert.
And you eat salad, which takes forever to eat.
Yes.
So there's a lot of reasons.
There's a lot of reasons. I'm always the last one eating.
But also as the one who did most of the cooking and the prep and all that to get everything ready.
The grocery shopping.
It's fair for you not to have to clean up the dishes.
Did you other men hear that? I hope the other husbands heard that.
They should hear it. Like, dudes, get up from your chair, collect the dishes, take them out to the sink.
Because there is a lot that this is not even on our topic, you guys, but there's so much that goes into a meal. Like, it's the reason everybody loves to go out to eat. Because a meal starts with planning, then it's grocery shopping, then it's bringing groceries in, then it's actually like prepping and cooking. Then it's like the organization of getting everything to be finished at the same time and hot and fresh. And then it's eating. So there's like so much that goes into just putting a good meal on the table.
Yeah. Well, and it's the simplest thing to collect people's plates and cups and silverware and bowls and whatever.
A lot.
And take it to the sink and like rinse it off real quick. Like that takes, but what I'm saying is do it. Like, guys, do it. It takes so little effort.
Yeah.
Like, and energy. It's so easy to do, but it's an opportunity for you to display service to your family, teach your kids to help each other, like shows value to your wife and what she's done. Or a lot of times, husbands will be the one cooking and providing the meal because that's what they like to do.
Right.
But
so opposite.
So it's kind of reversed, and you're showing that, hey, I value you and what you've done for us. I'm grateful for it. I want to chip in also. And so this is my opportunity to be able to do that.
Yep, love it. Okay, 9 to 12-year-olds, they can load the dishwasher, which my opinion is much earlier they can load the dishwasher. But vacuum, that's something probably, 9 to 12, I would say that's about right. Mop.
Yeah.
And helping cooking. I mean, like when my kids were probably like 6 and 7, I was having them wash the potatoes or peel the carrots or whatever. So they can do stuff pretty young.
Oh, and I think about things like I still have pictures and remember the girls helping you make the homemade noodles. And
oh yeah, they were little.
Oh yeah, taught like 3 and 4. They were helping you do that, and then learning how to like, oh, can I drop some into the pot and like all that.
Separating the noodles after we cut them. Yeah, and then 13 plus, they can do anything.
Yeah. laundry,
They
prepare
can do
meals,
it
yard
all.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, a 13-year-old can almost do everything that an grown adult can do. Almost, okay? Most 13-year-olds. Of course, like we said, it just depends on the kid and their development and everything like that. But just remember that your kids are less resentment. They feel less resentment if they feel like they're capable and set up for success rather than set up to fail.
Yeah.
So if it is a new chore that you're presenting and it's something that's difficult for them, maybe for the first time, make sure that you're right there with them to help them succeed. That is going to help them. Like we said, though, don't be afraid of failure.
So second thing is to make sure that chores are predictable, not negotiable. And negotiation invites power struggles. Predictability builds peace.
Okay, this is my problem because I will let my kids negotiate with me. Thomas will not. So they've learned this. And so when he says to do something, they just do it. When I say to do something, they're like, what if I, da, 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 you know, and like, I'm like, are we wheeling and dealing here? What are we doing? No, just do your chore. But I have taught them that they can negotiate with me.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one of those parental fails where I'm like, why did I do this? Because now that's now our culture.
Yeah.
So, but here's how I get around it. I text Thomas and I say, tell Isabella to do her dishes. And then he tells her and there is no negotiating. So that's my way around it. But I really should work to stop negotiating. Anyway, sorry, that was my little confession.
If there's a negotiation that happens, it begins with me, right? And so I might negotiate with someone who has had a busy day, whether it's with school or whatever else, or, you know, they had a volleyball tournament that was out of town and they're getting home late. And it's like, hey, we'll get home. It's late. Everybody's tired. I will say, I will let you not do the dishes tonight before bed if you will do them first thing in the morning when you get up, even before our coffee time. So, like, if there's a negotiation that's going to happen, typically it comes from me. Every once in a while, they'll come up and give me a good explanation, but it's not a culture of negotiation where they're going to get out of it. It's like, no, this is the expectations. This is what I want to happen, and it's one of the things that you want to do, and how to make it successful as possible is to attach chores to routines. So before screen time, after dinner, like we talked about before nap time with the toddlers picking up their toys or whatever.
Now it's before bed. The sink has to be completely clean. All counters in the kitchen wiped down.
Yeah. After lunch, like certain things going to happen. Before you play the video games, you got to have these 3 things done. And maybe you're going to use a simple posted schedule instead of verbal reminders. So because of the age of our kids, group text works great. It's like, hey, Lysandra or I, depending on who it is and what's going to happen, we'll text out and say, hey, these are the chores that need to be done before X, Y, or Z. Who wants to do which of these? And we give them an opportunity to say and pick.
Yep. So what I'll do is I'll say no one goes out with friends, watches any TV, or goes to bed or whatever until these 4 chores are done. We have 4 kids. So I will put chore number 1, sweep and mop downstairs. Chore number 2, dust downstairs. Chore number 3, downstairs bathroom and microwave. You know, like whatever. I'll combine whatever I feel like this is a little grimy right now. It needs some love. And then it's first come, first serve. Whoever texts first on the group chat that they want to do that particular chore, they get it. Yeah. And last person to text gets whatever nobody else wants to do.
God help you if you're sleeping when the list goes out.
Yeah. But now this is like weekly. This is not every day. Every day they have a chore that they have to do in their bathroom because they all share one bathroom. So they each have one chore in their bathroom that they do pretty much every day or regularly. And then dishes are every single day. They have a dish day. Other than that, then these chores come up about once a week.
So one of the things I encourage though is don't ask them if they'll do chores.
Right. Will you do the chores?
You just tell them what needs to be done. Tell them what the expectation is. And so the expectation is I'm not asking you to help me, right? And do me a favor. No, you live here also, and so you will contribute. This is how you're going to contribute.
That's right. And emphasize contribution over compensation, right? So if you pay for every task, then pretty much it's not going to be about responsibility. It's going to be about bargaining. How can I get more? So frame chores, like Thomas said, as being part of a family. We all pull our own weight. Everybody who lives here helps. Daddy worked all day. Now you need to work here, and so on and so forth. And that will really help.
So, and allowance is not necessarily a bad thing. It can be a bad thing where, they expect to be paid for every little thing that they do.
That's the problem.
We have expectations that you're going to contribute, and I'm not paying you anything for that. Like, you live here for that. Like, you eat here for that. We provide basically all the needs that you have, clothes, all that. And so you're going to contribute. Now, if we ask them to go above and beyond and do something extra, we might do something special for them. And we will do that. But for us, allowance isn't really a thing. Like, you're just expected to contribute. And then allow choice within structure. So control battles ease when children have limited autonomy. And so one of the things that we do oftentimes, they have certain things that, like, this is what's going to happen. You just need to get it done. But oftentimes we'll offer 2 acceptable options. So we're going to let children choose timing within a defined window. So, for example, would you rather unload the dishwasher or take out the trash? So you've got the 2 options there. Which one would you rather do? And then you can do chores before or after homework. Your choice. So get it done. Or within the certain windows. A lot of times I'll say, hey, mom is expected to be home at this time. Make sure the kitchen is cleaned up, dishes are done before that time. And you've got 5 or 6 hours to figure out in that window when you want to get it done. And that goes back to the planning, time management, prioritization, all that we talked about earlier.
That's right. Now, remember, guys, okay? The goal of chores isn't perfection, it's formation. You are trying to shape and mold your children into people who take pride in their work, who do a good job, who have this great work ethic, who are going to succeed professionally in the future, whether that is being their own boss and starting their own business and making that a success, or maybe it is being this awesome employee, climbing the corporate ladder, whatever it may be, leading their own people under their organization. It's not perfection. Your kids will not be perfect. That is okay. But they're growing, they're learning, it's forming. If you want a little more on this topic, maybe you want something that can help you to know exactly what season, what age they can do different chores, we have a bonus resource for you. Age-appropriate chores by stage, all right? And you can email us at info@familymeeting.org, ask for this bonus resource, age-appropriate chores by stage, and we will email that to you ASAP.
Family meeting tonight. You're just going to gather the family, get them together, and we're going to talk about how everybody contributes to this family and spend some time talking about who does what are the responsibilities that are expected and all that. If you have maybe failed in getting your kids involved, this is an opportunity for you to acknowledge that failure and just say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry, I haven't done what I needed to do as a parent to equip you. And so these are going to be the expectations moving forward. And maybe you're going to talk to them about, and give them a couple options of what are the regular chores going to be, what the structure is going to look like, what are the expectations. But you're having this conversation about, hey, this is what a household who works together looks like. And so it might not be the funnest conversation for your kids, but in the long run, it'll be what's most beneficial for them.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for joining us today. Please go and subscribe to the Family Meeting Podcast from your favorite podcast provider. And if you found this information helpful, please share this episode on social media and invite your friends and family to listen in with you.
To find more content and information Lysandra and I provide, you can go to our website, familymeeting.org, or email us at info@familymeeting.org. If you'd like to shoot us a text or call us, you can send a voice message at 904-257-3737. 3062.
And we want to invite you to join us for our next family meeting 1 week from today as we discuss how a daily debrief with your spouse can change your marriage.
I kind of like where this is going. Am I going to debrief you?
Debrief. Oh my goodness. Only you. Well, only you and every other man would think that.
I will debrief you. That'll definitely change our marriage.
Every single night.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us today for this family meeting. Have a great week, everybody. This meeting is adjourned.
Oh my goodness. I never even saw that debrief thing coming.
Yeah, you never do.
Good
You should
times.
be expecting that by now. But hey, family chores. Like, what are the responsibilities that you have your kids doing? What's the system and the plan that you have? How has it been working out? What are some suggestions you maybe have for other parents out there for how they can get their kids involved with a lot less conflict all the time about getting chores done? We'd love to hear from you, learn from you. So let's continue that conversation in the comments there. Until next week, have a good one.